I do not view abortion as a choice and a right. I think it's always a tragedy, and I think that it should be rare and safe. And I think we should be focusing on how to limit the number of abortions. I'm a bit of an odd man out in my party. I do not vote for funding for abortion.
Oh, how the times have changed. Back in 2006, then Senator Joe Biden backed an amendment to overturn Roe versus Wade. Now, instead of condemning the unprecedented Supreme Court leak, Biden is trying to rally voters for pro-choice candidates in the November midterms. So where do registered voters stand on all this? A new Fox News poll shows that 54% of Americans think abortion should be illegal. And look how it's changed. Legal 44%, 54 illegal. This is the highest reading we've gotten since at least July of 2018. Most voters support a ban after 15 weeks, and Roe v. Wade protests break out in cities across the nation. In downtown Los Angeles, one officer was injured when demonstrators started throwing rocks and bottles at police. A citywide tactical alert was temporarily issued. Charlie, your reaction to this leak and in a grotesque way, the Democrats salivating over thinking this is going to be a big coup for them in November.
Well, I got to say, big picture here, this is a titanic development. Assuming that the Politico's reading of the vote the informal vote that went on with Alito, causing Alito to write this opinion is all accurate. This is a huge development, probably the biggest political development, certainly in my time covering politics. I don't think the Democrats are exactly reading this correctly. It's such an interesting clip, the one you just played of Joe Biden. And just a few years ago, while, Joe Biden was out of step with Democrats probably a little bit back then, all Democrats believed that abortion was illegal, was a moral issue. And to listen to Joe Biden talk about it today and talk about how he doesn't want to leave this issue up to the whims, as he calls it, of voters is a truly extraordinary thing. I don't know that we've ever seen a sitting president talk like that to voters, where he says, look, this is a complicated issue. You're not allowed to decide on it. And I don't think going into an election, especially with the backdrop of all of the economic issues that we've just been talking about, I think that this is a volatile situation, and I think Democrats are misreading it. And I think it's going to be I don't think it's going to play out the way they're predicting.
Are they going to ignore the financial suffering of hardworking men and women across the country? Because, again, them ignoring it or trying to dismiss it and say that their multi-trillion-dollar spending package is going to reduce inflation and doesn't cost anything. So their reaction to it over and over again to the inflation, people's wages are falling in this country. I think that the real adjusted median household income is down about $2,600 per household from a year ago, Charlie. And if you go back, again, let's put up that full screen of what Joe Biden said. We have a video of it somewhere. We'll air it later in the show about he referred to no one can make the judgment to choose to abort a child. Okay, thank you for saying that. Yeah, it's a child.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's incredible. And just as recently as 2016, even Hillary Clinton was, her mantra was she wanted abortion to be safe, legal, and rare. Again, that rare part suggesting that there's a moral issue here. And the idea that can't be decided by people is pretty extraordinary.
And I'll just add, Charlie, we were talking about Joe Biden's history on the issue. David Harsanyi, who writes for the National Review. In 1982, Joe Biden proposed a constitutional amendment to overturn Roe v. Wade and allow states to choose their own policies, which in theory, this Supreme Court decision, if it comes out the way it appears, would do that. That's 82. In 94, Joe Biden wrote a letter to a constituent bragging that he has voted against abortion funding on 50 separate occasions. Biden voted for the Partial Birth Abortion Ban Act of 2003. So, again, he's on the right side of this issue, literally and figuratively. And now you...
Right.
Go ahead.
Yeah, no, and then you have a guy like Bernie Sanders yesterday saying that, we need to go out and codify Roe v. Wade. Okay, fine. Good luck with that. Go out and do that. That's all this decision. If the court strikes down Roe v. Wade, that's all this will do. This will give politicians an opportunity to codify Roe v. Wade if that's what they want to try to do. My suspicion is that they won't get it done.
Charlie, thank you so much. We'll see you again shortly.